What's up, guys? So, let's see. I'm sitting here doing dishes, and I wanted to kind of go back on the water is wet, the H2o video from, I don't know, a week or so ago. And I talked about how when we talk about water being wet as a way to show somebody a lesson in life, that yes, water is wet. That's the obvious, and you can teach somebody that in a safe sort of manner. Um, but what I talked about in the last one is water is deep also, and how it can have levels to its wetness, and how a lot of times we don't take that portion into consideration. But I wanted to talk to the flip side of water being, I guess, wet. Not necessarily that it's dry, but the positives of water as well. Water definitely can be calming. So when we think of a warm bath or making tea, things like that, water has so many more, I guess, ideal properties rather than just being an inherent danger. Water is cleansing. If you're not bathing, just for muscle relaxing or things like that, it's cleansing in the fact that we can wash ourselves with it. It cleans the sky. Doesn't it smell cleaner after a good rain? We wash the pollution out. To that point, even with a rain, water is life. Water is what creates growth in so many other things, all living things. From my understanding, if there's something that's not dependent on water to survive, it would be new to me. But this is where I'm kind of coming from. So it's a different angle. Water, when we drink it, it's quenching. So not only is it good for us, but it's quenching, that it satisfies something that we are missing, which is why we become dry, dehydrated. So the things that we're missing in life often are replenished with water. What we are missing, how many times did we hear, have we heard of the great droughts across history in different places, and historical periods, and how people suffered, and then a great rain would come, and this is why the natives would do rain dances, or people just celebrate when it rains. Like, I understand there's certain areas where it's always rainy, and so that can be a more depressive mindset, but when you're talking about having been denied, and then when you get home after that workout or that long summer day, and you've been out all day running from the office to errands to picking up the kids, and you finally get home and that water hits you, and it's just refreshing, it's life-giving. Water can be all of those things. So yes, water is wet, it's an obvious. Water is deep, and that can be a warning to respect the water. But water can be so much more than that, and what it does for us in a healing sense. Water can become frozen. I spoke to how water can be something you fall on from a height, and it's hard like concrete. But in that same sense, when it's frozen and pressed against wounds and bruises, it's healing. When it's kept warm, it can be, it can be healing. For when you see the hot water bottle or things that are pressed against the body, things like that, when it's mixed, it can be a complement to an Epsom salt, or again, making a tea. Water can be so many things. It takes all shapes and forms. It's like, the master Bruce Lee, spoke to being like water. Well, we can take and respect, certainly, we should respect what water can do for us, um, when we're talking about taking us under, and undercurrents, and that you can drown in it. But water, what has water done? It's taken explorers and travelers throughout history from one land to another when there was no airplane, and you couldn't just do it on land. You had to brave the water, and the water was there. The water took people to new lands and made new connections. Some of it positive, some of it not so positive, depending on who was on the waters. But this is what we hear. This is what we see. Water has been the living birth of so many creatures to have existed. that may not exist anymore and some that still do. And it's one of the last mysteries that mankind has, exploring the oceans and seas, and we still tell tales of them because it's water. Water's a mystery in a lot of senses. So respect it. Respect that even calm water still has potential to be something that we do need to take as a respectful fear. Maybe not a fear, but a respect of what can happen if we aren't being prepared to enter it. And that's many areas in life as well. And even when it's shallow, when it's just coming out of the sky, when it's coming out of a faucet, anything, when it's coming out of our eyes, when it's coming out of our pores, when you are sweating, you're pushing things out of your body. It's a good thing. I enjoy a good sweat. Now, I guess if you're sick, it's not a good thing. Well, it's not a good thing to be sick, but if you're sweating, getting that, hopefully you're getting that out. Crying, an expression of emotion. And again, it's water. These are those things that are part of just our everyday. It's what we've come into the world with. Water. We are inside the womb, inside with fluids. So it may not be. Maybe there's different technical names for salt, coming, from sweat, tears, and amniotic fluids and things like that. But I'm guessing that it's water based, and that's where I'm going to go and stick with this. Um, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Because I did want to speak to the positive side. That water, yes, it's wet, and that's an awesome thing. But I also wanted to make sure that I spoke to the other things that water can be, in an uplifting fashion. So, advice, comments, experience, that ace up your sleeve is always appreciated. And hopefully, this finds everybody in a good place or strong pursuit of total health, mind, body, and soul. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.